last couple of days I've been like very nostalgic, you know, and I've been thinking about like where I grew up and my friends, and but you know, more importantly, I've been thinking about the things that I had when I was a child, you know, and just the memories aren't enough because I've been looking up the images of these things that I had online. And so, you know, just by seeing these images, it really solidifies that memory. And it's actually pretty emotional for me, you know? So I want to try this with you, okay? We're going to try, like, bringing back a memory from your childhood, right? So do you have your phone on you? Yeah, bring it up. And just go to a browser, perfect. And you can just go to google.com. Yeah, there it is, all the way to the top. Google.com, perfect. Now, inside of Google, okay, if you were to type in images of, what Google does is that, as you know, it actually shows you images of whatever you want, right? So there's the image of. So I want you to think of something that meant a lot to you when you were a child. That doesn't have to necessarily be an object. It can even be a location. You know, it could be literally anything that was really, really important to you as a child, right? But it's something that, you know, would have some kind of an image, right? Okay. And let me know when you got something in mind. I know, isn't that interesting?
It is.
Yeah. But don't tell me obviously what it is.
I won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got something? Okay, go ahead. Image of, you just type in whatever you want. Make sure that I don't look at it. Make sure there's no cameras behind you or anything. Okay, and then when you're done typing it, just hit return. And, you know, Google's going to show you the images of whatever it is that you wanted.
Okay.
Okay? Let me know when you're done.
I got it.
You got it? Okay. So keep the phone to yourself so I can't really look at it. Or is Google showing you some images of whatever it is that you typed in?
Yes.
It is. Okay, perfect. So keep your phone to yourself right now, just so I make sure that I can't see what it is that you have. All right? I want you to think about this, okay? Really let those photos take you back in time, okay? And what I'm seeing is, this is not necessarily an object that you had from your childhood, is that correct? It's not an object, you know, it's not like a toy, and it's not like a pet or anything like that either. So it was not like a dog or a cat. What I can see is that this is when you were maybe around, maybe like 8 years old or 9 years old, right? And it was maybe someplace that you went with your family that meant a lot to you, and you have like very fond memories of a place. That's what I'm getting a feeling of. Is that right? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, think about the first letter of this location, okay? I'm gonna go through the alphabet, look at me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. Hold on, one more time. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, you're giving me some hints already. Okay, it's in the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna take a wild guess. This place starts with the letter B, is that correct? It does.
Yeah.
B. Okay. The images that I'm getting from you are so strong. Oh my gosh. This is a trip that you had with your family, and you just loved everything about this place. This is Bermuda. Bermuda.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it really Bermuda? Beaches of Bermuda. Yes. He showed it to the camera. Yes. Man.
That's insane. My mom was born there, so we would always visit my family that's still there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
No, those images really, really helped you. They take you back in time, didn't
Yeah.
they? Yeah. Thank you, Erica.
Thank
we did
you.
an experiment in going back in time.
Yeah.
So now, this is the moment that Erica's been waiting for. She is really curious about how I knew that her memory from her childhood actually was Bermuda. All right. This is a wonderful routine in Inject where you are using your spectator's phone as a transmitter while the magician's phone, your phone, is going to be the receiver. Okay. Now you can either perform this with a smartwatch. Now right now actually I do not have a smartwatch. Okay, and you're going to see why I don't like using a smartwatch, just because any sign of technology I want to keep away from my body. So when somebody or my audiences are looking at me, they don't see, I don't have any rings on, there's no watches on. Basically, I'm just standing there with no props on my body. Okay. So now she goes ahead and I ask her to just fire up her phone and to go to google.com. Okay. Now she can go to google.com either inside of Safari or even using the Google application, which is fun. So now she knows that she is currently at google.com. Now, when I did the performance for her, there was one little detail that she had not noticed, and that is my phone is currently not in my pocket. My phone is actually right over there.
What?
It's on the side. It's actually sitting on a table. If I can find some prop, like a sofa, a shelf, anything that I can just drop my phone on for a short period of time, I will drop my phone off someplace else, okay? Because in a moment, I'm going to actually peek at my phone, okay? And also in a moment, I'm going to show you how I actually peek from my pocket. But for right now, remember that my phone is on the side of the table. And I can look at it just by simply turning away from Erica. So now, Erica knows that it's her phone and she has gone to google.com. Once Erica has gone to Safari or any browser and she has gone to google.com, I now say to her, I said, Erica, did you know that in Google, okay, now as I start saying this to her, I say to her, let me show you something interesting about Google. As I take her phone from her, what I'm really doing is I immediately touch the area in Google where you would type in something to do a search, okay? And as I do that, she can see me touching that area. And I say to her, I said, did you know that if you type images of, and you follow it by some image, by some whatever object, Google will show you images of that object. Okay, so as I'm speaking all of this, I'm typing. But I'm not typing images of. What I am typing is going to be your secret inject URL, and I'm actually typing googled.co. Okay, let me actually type that up here for you. googled.co / whatever your user number is. Okay. Once you've typed in that google.co, the next thing that happens is when you hit return, it's actually going to show the pre-populated default text inside of the fake Google page. So right now, we are in a fake Google. Okay. Now, right after I'm done typing that in, I immediately show her that what I typed in was images of. So she thinks that what I was typing was the word images of, when in reality I was not. I was typing in my URL. And she also thinks that I was typing images of because I had shown her that I had tapped the search field in Google. So she thinks I'm typing in that search field, when in reality I was actually typing in the address field. Okay, so this completely flows through without any problems. So now, this is the fake Google page, and by slightly pushing up on the screen, what it does is it takes the words googled.co, that's all the way at the top of the screen, and it makes it really, really small. So it makes it difficult for her to actually read that that's not really google.com. Okay? Now she doesn't even notice that, because all she's going to do right now is to think of something. Now, the rhythm of this is kind of important. This is in my hand, and she can see that it's in Google, but I don't completely give it back to her. I say to her, I want you to go back into your childhood and just remember something. It could be an object, it can be a place, it could be a person, it could be anything, right? Something that really means a lot to you. And what I'm trying to do right now is to make an emotional connection with her, something that really means something to her. And this is very, very important, because later on, when the revelation happens, it's going to have even further meaning to your spectator, okay? So now she thinks of something, okay? And in her case, she thought of Bermuda. So I give her the phone. I said, okay, first I said, you got something in mind? And she says, yes. The moment she says yes is when I give her phone back to her. Because now remember, I want her to only think about what she's going to be typing on the keyboard, not for her eyes to wander across the other parts of that Google page, okay? Okay, so now I turn away from her. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking directly at my phone. My phone is sitting all the way at the corner of the table right now. Now all I'm doing is just staring at it. Okay, Erica, type in whatever you like. Okay, now in this case, she once again typed in Bermuda, right? So what she's seeing on her phone right now is images of Bermuda, right? And I know that just because I'm reading it right there from my screen. Okay, there it is. Images of Bermuda.
Wow.
Right? So I know that information already. Okay, so I'm completely done at this point. As far as I'm concerned, the trick is over. I know the secret piece of information that she just looked up. Now, on her side, on her phone, she's looking at images of Bermuda. Now, this has been something that you're using to motivate the action of her looking up images of it. You're saying, you know what? We want to be nostalgic. We want to be able to go back in time, and we want these images to help us take us back in time, right? So that's the very important motivation why you're asking her to do a Google image search, okay? So she does. She looks at images of Bermuda. She's holding the phone close to her, and I try to take that information that I already know she has selected and use that information against her. So because I know now it's a location, I know that it's probably someplace that she went when she was younger, and I know that maybe her parents would not have taken her to that location when she's maybe 3 or 4 years old, maybe when she's older. So now I'm just going to start throwing some information at her, which is just purely cold reading stuff that I'm pulling out of the air, right? But to her, it's going to have some meaning. And the reason why it has meaning to her is because there are parts of what I'm saying that resonate with what really she has selected. It's because I already know what she selected, all right? So she says, yes, that's correct, the age is correct, and I say this is not a person or an animal, and she says, yes, yes, and all of these things are going to build up to the climax. And so finally, the final point of the climax is, yes, I see that this is a location, think of the first letter, I do the thing with the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and as I'm doing the alphabet, essentially what I'm trying to do is maybe get a reading of what the first letter of this location would be. And all of this is intended to solidify you as the mind reader. If it was as simple as she looks up images of Bermuda and I turn around and say, yeah, Bermuda. Are we done? Right? That'd be pretty boring, right? It would be really awful, So you really, as a performer, you want to milk this performance as much as you can. Make it something that's going to be memorable for your spectator, and this will be an epic kind of a performance that's going to be a reputation maker for you. And all you need is just your phone in your pocket and a copy of Inject. One final note that I would like to point out is I talked about how the phone has been left somewhere. Like it's been left on a table or the corner of a couch or something. What if you don't have that luxury? What if you're doing magic just strolling, you're standing, right? I highly recommend that you peek in one of two locations. You can either put your phone in your breast pocket, like this, and then you can put a pen or a Sharpie right on the top of it, along with maybe a small notepad. So now, when you want to write down what she's thinking of, what you're going to do is grab the Sharpie, and normally what happens when you want to grab your Sharpie is that you actually look at your pocket and you pull it out like this. Okay, and then maybe you want to reach in to grab a small piece of paper. This is going to give you a perfect opportunity to peek at your phone so that you know what she's thinking of. And even if you don't want to do it that way, the way that I prefer usually doing it is I leave my phone, once again, in my left pants pocket, and I turn away from the spectator. And I'm going to kind of show you the way that I do it. I'm going to assume that you're getting the backstage view. With my hand in my pants pocket like this, remember the spectators are actually right behind me. And because the spectator is all the way over there, they can't see what I'm doing with this hand. I look to my left, actually I'm looking right at the tip of my left toe, and all I do now is I just tilt the phone slightly out of my pocket and put it right back. And that entire action of peeking is without any motion. The only motion that should be there is this hand doing this and putting it back. Your head should not move back up after you do the peek. Because if your head moves back up, it means that you got some piece of information. Just let your head stay down there. All you're going to do is that and down. Your head is still exactly in the same spot. Okay? Because the moment that your head does something different, that means something just happened. You don't want that to happen. Stay motionless. And as long as you're motionless, as long as this is the only thing that happens with your hand, nobody's going to see that peek, even though you just peeked some information out of your pocket.
Very slick.
It's slick. You're going to love it.